Thumbs up. Yeah! Hey everybody, we are live. And we are with a very special guest. If you followed us a couple weeks ago, we were in this amazing barbecue restaurant, and we decided we're going to bring that guy here. We're going to bring him on the podcast. So you might have saw him waving. If you were watching that podcast as we were there, he was waving behind the counter, showing us his awesome meat that he grills. And grills. It's not grills. We're pitmaster. We're smoking that stuff.
Pits.
Unbelievable.
It's all about the pits.
It is. It's all about the pits. So welcome to Omaha, Access Omaha Podcast 111. Man, we've been doing this a while.
Yeah.
111
Yeah.
with our special guest, Wayne, here from Smokin' Barrel Barbecue, which is, in my opinion, the best barbecue here in town.
Easily.
And I'm going to let Levi kind of take it from here and kind of introduce our guest.
Yes.
And how we met and all this good stuff.
Absolutely. Thanks, Ryan. So, yeah, as Ryan said, guys, we're super excited. Of course, if you've been following us for some time, you know that him and I love food. Big time foodies. If we miss a week where we don't have a guest on the podcast, we love to get out and just kind of go check out new spots, places that we're interested in. And last week, a couple weeks ago, we had kind of a little bit of a dead day, and we're like, let's go try something new. And we were just literally online, like, what is the barbecue place that has the best reviews and best rating in Omaha? Literally, Smokin' Barrel. It's like 4.999 stars, no joke. So I'm like, let's go try this place. I've never even heard of it before. What's going on? We show up. This guy greets us, and man, we just had an amazing experience. And not only that, he was super generous with his time, and it was a little bit late in the day. Of course, it was like 3 o'clock almost, right about the closing time for them. So, but he was super generous with his time and sat down with us and told his story a little bit. And part of that is his journey from not only being active duty military veteran, but to his roots as a barbecue pit master, becoming a barbecue pit master.
That's
now,
kind of tough to say sometimes.
Yeah, now an entrepreneur, someone who gives back to the community, which Ryan and I are both huge on, and it just really touched us, and we felt like we really connected. So we're like, man, we got to get this guy on, do a full episode, and really hear some of his story and his journey of what led him to where he is today. So without further ado, Wayne, Smokin' Barrel Barbecue. What's your last name, Wayne? Do we have that?
Not late.
Terribly.
No, it's Dingus.
It's Dingus?
Dingus, yeah.
Dingus,
Right.
okay,
One of the
yeah.
first people to ever do that.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for coming on, man. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet. We're excited.
We are very excited. So we're gonna dive a little deep, and hopefully it'll be a little bit light for you. But we want to hear some of the details of your journey and see where it goes.
Yeah. So Wayne, tell us just a little bit about your personal story. Where'd you grow up? Obviously you're here in Omaha now, but kind of backfill us from growing up to how many people were in your family, what state were you in, were you here, military, and then how did you end up in Omaha?
Well, way back in the day. Actually, I was adopted about the age of 3 months.
Okay.
I was very, very fortunate to have a family that adopted me. Lived here all my life, here in Omaha.
Yeah.
Well, primarily, let's backtrack that.
Yeah.
Until we started moving around.
Yep.
Right out of high school.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Omaha Cathedral.
Okay.
I've got a bad reputation with schools.
Bad reputation. Bad.
So when I say that, it was I went to Immaculate Conception.
Uh-huh.
The year after I left there, that school closed. Went to Cathedral. My parents were tired of paying the money for Catholic school because of D's. So I transferred to Omaha Central.
Yep.
The following year, Cathedral closed. So luckily, Central still going
Luckily,
on.
the Eagles were still around.
We're seeing a trend here.
That's you never know. So I went to Omaha Central.
They are the Eagles, right?
They are the Eagles.
Okay, just making sure.
Mon Green, all those guys. Graduated in '93. Right out of high school. I tried UNO.
Yeah.
College was not for me. Never held my attention.
Yeah.
So I ended up joining the military. Did that for a while, enjoyed it, traveled all over the world. was something that was bigger than myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's something that even to this day that we try to instill in our kids and our family, and pretty much everyone that comes into our restaurant, you know, through conversation.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, to me, it's not always about the food, it's about the conversation and the relationships you build. So we did that, did the military thing, traveled all over the world, really truly enjoyed it. Then we started having kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that is when something else became bigger than myself, was our children. We got 3 kids. Our daughter Megan, bachelor's in biochemistry, just got accepted into med school.
Awesome.
Wow. Proud dad.
Straight A kid all the way through.
Yeah.
You know, my
Did
wife
not have dad's genes.
we actually figured out, I think she does have my genes.
Yeah.
I'm just glad she doesn't wear it because it'd probably fall off. She's a little thin. Then we have our son, Jeff. He's just finished his freshman year at UNL, transferring to UNO, doing engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We had a little argument today, a little bit. He goes, maybe I won't do it. I know you're going to do it. Follow through with something finally.
Yep.
Then our youngest just got out of 5th grade, getting ready to become
All
a junior
right.
higher, middle school.
Wow.
So, you know, it made my wife cry a little bit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's my fault because, hey, guess what? That's just one more year closer to him moving out.
Yeah.
So yeah, the kids and the family definitely became something that was bigger than myself. And that's what I focused energy on. Worked in a lot of restaurants, screwed up a lot of things, you know.
Yeah.
Drank a lot. You know,
Yeah.
hey, this is the industry, let's drink, you know,
Yep.
and that became bigger than myself. So 3 years ago, it was just, hey, we're done drinking. You know, and I had already started this business, but I ruined a lot of things. You know, a lot of bridges, burned them down.
Yep.
I started all over. I went back to Metro, through their culinary program, and became a dishwasher.
Yep.
You know, after being leads and sous chefs and stuff like that, just to show people, hey, I'm willing to work for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't tell a lot of people that, but hey, you asked my story.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
It's raw. It's
Love it.
uncut.
Yeah.
A good friend of mine, Brad Grosser, he just opened a restaurant. You guys should go check out.
Oh,
in
all right.
Boston. I would tell you the
Do a
name.
little drop bomb. You can drop it.
I don't know if I can pronounce it right. The Sojourn, the translation basically means temporary stay.
Okay.
I gave him a hard time about that. It's like, really? You're going to name a restaurant temporary stay? Are you planning on staying in business? We had worked together for almost 15 years. He was either the executive chef, I was his sous, or he was food and beverage director, and I was his executive chef. So yeah, you get a chance to go out and try it. He's really good food.
Absolutely.
All scratch. Influenced by California.
Okay.
He lived down in LA.
Awesome.
So a lot of, with his food, as I do with mine, has something to do with our past.
Mm-hmm.
And I digressed. Anywho, sorry, Brad. So I quit drinking.
Yeah.
You know, hey, guess what? You don't drink, eat, and see pretty damn clear. And so I found something that was even deeper than myself, and it became community.
Wow.
I'm not gonna say I hit rock bottom, but it was bottom enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what became greater than myself was community and people. You know, you guys came in, and you know, like you said, we talked for quite a while.
Yeah.
You know, and I've found that communication for me is therapy. You know, the things I've done, seeing everything in the past, this helps me relax.
Yeah.
You know, so that way I can focus on other things. I really do get distracted a lot.
You and me both. I'm like the guy that squirrel.
Squirrel.
Next thing.
Ooh, another Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah.
Anywho, so I've been fortunate enough. I've worked for Embassy Suites, the Upstream Brewing Company. Again, I apologize for burning bridges with you guys. Google.
Yeah.
I ran Google. The company was Guggenheimer. I ran out of the Union Pacific office. Great crew, great team down there that really helped me out. But Google, we were the ground floor for getting food into Google. Now I've heard it's just astronomically crazy with gastronomy. Went on to that. Brad and I hooked up again. Worked for a couple other places, a couple of independent retirement homes. I moved down to Kansas City.
Yep.
Lived down there for a while. My daughter was a freshman at Millard South, and they were going to move down after the school year, and Millard South had a school shooting. And life's too damn short.
Yep.
Wow, yeah.
I came home. I quit the job instantly.
Mm-hmm.
The company was gracious enough to pay me through the end of the month, which gave me, hey, a whole month to sit around, do nothing until your last week without a paycheck. Ooh, maybe I should find a job.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I went and worked for a rehabilitation center, nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
Great experience. It's taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about textures, how to combine flavors, and stuff like that. And Brad and I again worked at the Ralston Arena together.
You guys are cut from the same cloth.
We are. He's skinny, I'm fat. It's a good time. But we were able to work together doing large parties without saying a word to each other. It was observation. We knew from inside and out what the menu was, what needed to be done. We'd look at the next, look at his cutting board. Okay, I'm going to the walk-in. I grab what I need and what he needs. Vice versa, he would do the same for me. So it was very harmonious. I mean, it was like a symphony.
Yeah.
And when that happens, beautiful things come about food.
Yeah.
So then it was time to do something else. I drove home, spent about 5 minutes. I drew a very cartoonish pig holding a double barrel shotgun. We're going to call this Smoking Barrel. It's going to be a food truck. Here's the menu. And we'll repeat back. I moved down to Austin for a while. I was helping one of the companies work for design a couple more independent retirement homes. So down there, I kind of got a little itching. I mean, I started off just as everyone else did with a $99 Target stick burner.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's all I could afford. I mean, to me, that might as well have been a $14,000 smoker.
Right.
And so what I could afford was pork butt. And so, hey, pork butts came in too. We ate a lot of pork butt. We had our Iron Chef nights. Hey kids, find something in the refrigerator.
Right.
Make something new.
Yeah.
Yep.
Life lesson.
Yeah.
You don't, if you have pork butt,
You can have nights. I love that.
you can have a pulled pork sandwich. You can turn
Yeah.
around, you can make pork nachos, you can make pork tacos.
Yep.
So many different things. Just what you have in your fridge. Don't have to eat out every night. Don't
Right.
have to spend a lot of money to eat. Be creative. Be true to yourself and find something fun about it.
Yeah.
And so I went home and I told my wife I lost my job. All right. So here's what I want to do. So I went to my parents. Said, and I'd worked for my dad for a long time too, and it took me 6 months when I quit his place to go to culinary school because I didn't want to let anyone down, especially him. I'm very proud of my parents. They've done a lot for me. So I told them this is what I want to do. Said I need $80,000.
Yeah.
That wasn't the trailer. The trailer was 56. But you're a kid in a candy store. It's yours. You want the best of the newest of everything. Here you go. Cool. Ordered a trailer. All right. So about 3 months later, I had a trailer in my driveway.
That's awesome.
So sorry for the language, but hey, there's no turning back now.
Yeah.
We're in it, and so that's what we did. We started doing that. We started off the Millard Car Wash, right from the old Buc-ee's there off 132nd Street. A tornado came through and tore out one of their buildings, and the two ladies.
Wow. Yeah.
I owe a lot to these two ladies. I mean, they, talk, but they said yes. Can I park my food truck here? In a gravel pile where a building used to be, in a car wash.
Yeah.
Joe's, originally Oklahoma Joe's, gas station. Anything's possible.
Yeah.
So don't ever take, hey, this isn't the perfect location.
Right.
No, make it what you want it to. If you make it what your vision is, you can't fail.
Right.
As long as you're consistent and you communicate.
What was the
That's good.
You've kind of touched on it already, but I want to just circle back around to some of the stuff you're saying. What was the turning point? And you mentioned a few things that I think are probably, catalysts to that, so to speak. But what was the turning point? Like, if there was one moment, and maybe it was the the school shooting or whatever, some of that stuff that you talked about, but that one time when you're like, man, you know what, I just give everything up, this is my passion, I want to pursue this restaurant idea, the smoking barrel barbecue idea. What was that thing that, like, if you had to pinpoint one thing, what was it?
That pinpoint, that small laser dot on a wall, it's actually like this big.
Yeah.
You can't really, it's always been there. The drive has always been there. We didn't have a lot of money growing up. My toys were pots and pans underneath my mom's feet.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother, I'd spend summers up at her farm and I would cook with her. I didn't want to go out and play. I wanted to cook. I wanted to eat.
Uh-huh.
It's not that I wanted to cook. I wanted to eat, and those pans and pots with the right wooden spoon were drums.
Yeah.
So, but that's we look back at it. We asked this question a couple times a year. Where did it all start with? I played with pots and pans, man.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with playing pots and pans.
Dang right.
True.
So and that, it's always been there. Every place I've gone, I always wanted to take what I love to do, and it's cooking. And barbecue all started because I like to drink.
Yeah.
And I didn't drink heavy alcohol. I liked beer. Hey, and what better excuse to give your wife to stay up all night and drink? We're having brisket for dinner tomorrow, honey, but I gotta stay up all night.
I gotta nurse the brisket.
Yeah. I gotta nurse. What's the beer for? We're basting.
Yeah.
And who believes you baste your brisket with beer? But it's
Your wife.
apparently. So that's where it started. It was just something to do overnight and have some beers with some guys or just hang out and relax.
Yep.
And that's what barbecue's about. I mean, and when I say barbecue, I'm talking about Southern cuisine. And Southern's north is south.
Yeah.
Every place you go, and you find the hustle and bustle of people, and there's nothing wrong with it, trying to make this most beautiful, perfect plate. But at what cost?
Yeah.
And I know I'm digressing a little bit, but we've had a string of, in the culinary industry of chefs committing suicide. I know a few that were master chefs at a very young age, and they took their own life. And the cost of what we do in order to make something perfect is stress.
Yeah.
Is stress. And I had a lot of it, you're working 18-hour days for stretches on end, and we don't take care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so and I twist that back into, going out and having a beer and relaxing. When I decided I wanted to do barbecue for a living, it wasn't barbecue. It was, well, dear God, I lost my job. What are we gonna do?
Right.
And so what made me happy? What relieved the stress? Smoking meat. It's relaxing. You get the aromas in the air. I've got it impregnated in my skin. I get people that sniff me at airports.
I can smell it now.
Yeah.
I'm like, God.
No, we went to, it's a funny quick story. We went to, my wife and I and kids went to Hermosa Beach, California, which is right outside LA. And I'm sitting in the airport, and this lady's like, she's smelling me. And, I'm like, shit, my wife's next to me, but, what are you doing? She goes, you smell like hot dogs.
You smell like beef and cheese.
I was like, no man, that's brisket, because with the food truck, we had to take a couple days to decompress.
Yeah.
We always trying to find time for ourselves and family and get away from life.
Sure.
What we know as life. For me, life is barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Life is smoke. So I had to pre-smoke some briskets, right?
Yeah.
Because we got back on a Monday night and we opened on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I smelled like hot dogs apparently at the airport.
That's awesome.
But it started a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Something so simple. You go camping. I love fire.
Yep.
I love fire, man. You'll be sitting there,
I love that.
and all of a sudden you're just in a trance.
Yeah.
Yep.
You hear noise,
Just hit.
but you don't hear nothing. You don't hear anything clearly.
Hypnotized.
Exactly. And so I'll stand in front of my firebox, just, like a zombie. Like, are you okay? You had too much. No, I haven't had anything to drink in 3 years. Watch the fire.
Yeah.
Why does it dance the way it does? You know, you stack your logs a certain way. You're gonna, you know, you stack it in a pyramid. You're gonna have a jet coming up. You stack it in a Lincoln log. You're gonna have a consistent flame and heat in a certain area. You know, you branch it out, throw enough gas on it, and you just got your whole backyard on fire. And we grab marshmallows. I've done that. Kids, don't do that at home. So yeah, I mean that was my turning point. Like I said, I looked back on my life, and through what I've done, what I had been through, and what made me calm, what relaxed me, and what brought me joy. You know, family takes the top, but it was those nights, long nights in the backyard, just relaxing, looking at the stars. I could have been anywhere in the world. I could have been somewhere in Afghanistan. I could have been somewhere in Australia. I could have been in Colorado. I could have been, well, I can't be down at the beach because I didn't have the ocean. But I could have been anywhere in the world. And all I had to do was close my eyes and I was there.
Yep.
Because it made me relaxed. And so that was literally when I had to decide what I wanted to do. That was that turning point. The turning point was going, you know, and you almost want to thank, you know, I lost the job. I want to thank the people.
Yeah.
Thank you. You don't understand how much stress you've taken out of my life and given me all the freedoms in the world to not be tied down to corporate. Nothing is corporate. Some people at work, I am not that guy. So yeah, it was a blessing. You know, be true to yourself. Things will happen. You know, we don't always see what we want because it's not now.
Right.
Sometimes what we need is 2 or 3 years down the road.
Yeah.
And so patience, and that's another thing that barbecue does is patience.
Yep.
You know, you're looking, you ain't cooking.
Yep.
Every time you open that smoker, right, you're losing heat. You know, so it takes patience.
I feel like we talk about that a lot, like ripples that, you know, sometimes take years to hit the shore, but when they do, it's a tsunami.
Oh yeah.
You know? And it's just these little tiny things that you do. We actually talked about that last week on the podcast. Just the small things, you know. Don't forget the small things because they really add up over time.
Just the small details.
Yeah, and I think the process, right? Like we talk about this all the time, and I was having a conversation with friends this last weekend, and I was like, you know, sometimes we go through things that aren't pleasant, that are challenging, but they're shaping us into who we are, and we don't necessarily see that as we go through them, right? We're frustrated, we're upset, we're pissed, we're going through this. Why is this happening to me? You know, a lot of that type of stuff happening, and then you get through it, and you look back, and you're like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like I can see that now, why that happened, or why this brought me to this point. And we were just talking about how, you know, in that essence, when we were talking, we're like, God has this overall picture of, you know, this plan for our lives. And sometimes we want to just get to the end, right? We want to be there on that dream or whatever it is but there's that process. It's that time to go through that, you know, gets you to that point where you finally like celebrating when you finally do get to that point, right? And Wayne, I'm hearing you say that, and as I think about, you know, one of our questions that we ask a lot of times is, you know, that light bulb moment, which I think you've kind of addressed a little bit, but there's another thing that you said that I think stood out for me, even when we first met, and we were talking about this community thing, you know, when you were talking about it was community that kind of started a lot of this too, and now that ties into my restaurant, my barbecue.
Oh yeah.
Can you tell me, like, just even with the floods and the things like that have taken place here and how you kind of stepped in and your role there and what you did, what was or what is, you know, kind of this light bulb moment that ties in this passion of barbecue and the relaxation and the patient stuff with you, but also like giving back to the community and wanting to serve those that are in need? I know that was a lot right there to process.
That hamster just stopped.
What? So like as you think about the barbecue and like, you know, this restaurant obviously isn't about just, hey, I started this barbecue restaurant. It's one of the best. My goal is for it to be the best in town, which I don't even think that was your goal, to be like this best barbecue in town, which it is. I'm plugging that again. But it went from, I can do something with this business and give back. And how did that even start or take root in your heart or even take root in the plan of like, this is going to be a part of what we do?
part of my thinking processes, I'm not in business without community.
Hmm.
You know, we could be in it for whatever reason we want to be, but if it wasn't for the community and the people around us, we would not be doing what we're doing today.
Amen.
It doesn't matter what you do. You know, if you're a car dealership and you don't take care of the community's not going to buy a car from you.
Yep.
So that it's always been part of me. Again, I always go back to doing something that's bigger than yourself, something that's more important than who you are, because it will make you important. It will make you better. People will recognize you. They will see what you're doing, and that's not why we do it.
Right.
Sorry, I just see hands flapping in the way. So with that being said, we had this restaurant going. We just opened it, and just a tremendous amount of snow came down. You know, and I got a little upset because they were plowing that snow right in front of my door, and I go, "Hey,
Yeah.
you put any more snow there, I can't open my business." You know, we just went from a food truck for 4.5 years to a brick and mortar. I got more bills.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep.
And guess what? Overnight, it was gone. God, it was beautiful. I mean, sunny day, and we're all literally sitting here going, the snow's gonna melt a lot today. We're gonna be almost in the 80s. What are we gonna do today? It's gonna be sunny. What park are we gonna go to? Do we wanna go to the zoo? What are we gonna do with our family? Who are we gonna go visit?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you exactly, 6.8 miles from my location. Utter hell.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You know, what we see, it's how we perceive things. If we perceive what's in front of us, we don't see anything. If we perceive what's all around us, 360 degrees, we can grasp on what's actually going on in life and how we can help. Whether it's a smile, it's a handshake, it's a hug, it's a thank you, it's an I love you, you know, whatever. So 6.8 miles away, out by Elkhorn, mass flooding.
Yeah.
Literally mass flooding, and it was just an awakening. My smoker was actually behind the building at the time. Blackhawks were flying in and out of the Millard Airport, doing refueling for their missions for rescue. And I went down on a Saturday morning at 7 a.m. to put ribs on.
Mm-hmm.
Damn light switch went off in my head. It wasn't on, it was off.
Uh-huh.
And I literally, because it took me back to my days in the military with Blackhawks, and it took me to another place in time. And I got the ribs on, and all of a sudden the light switch went on. You know, I just stood there, just watched them,
Mm-hmm.
and I realized what was going on. You know, they fly over all the time. A lot of them are based out of Lincoln. They're out doing rescue training. They're jumping in and out of Millard Airport. And so the hamsters and the light switch started working again, and I got the ribs on, and I went home, and then I sat down with my wife at the table and said, you know, if I could get someone to donate some bread, some buns, maybe some meat, I said, I would donate my time. It took 5 minutes and thought about it. That's not bigger than myself. That's me asking people to give me something to do something for someone else. We called Rotellas. The Rotellas company is phenomenal. They don't tell the story much, but during when the hurricanes hit down in Houston, it was an astronomical number. I want to say it was like 15 or 18 semi-loads of bread down there.
That's crazy.
The trucking company said, we'll give you one.
Yeah.
The Rotellas family forked the money out of their own pocket to lease trucks and send it down there, and something as simple as bread is life-saving.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a hold of them, and within 35 minutes I had a little over 2,000 buns sitting at the front door.
That's crazy.
And I'm sitting there going, okay, great, I talked to Rotellas and I've got buns.
Now I need meat.
And it's literally like I have a trailer.
Yeah.
Can't stop now.
Right.
Forrest Gump. Well, I made it this far. Might as well keep on rolling.
Awesome plug. Awesome plug.
So I called Dillon Brothers. off of 170 something in Maple.
Yep.
We do their Throttle Thursdays with them. They had a lot of their staff lived in Valley. Valley was an island. So I talked to him and I said, hey, here's what I want to do. You know, I need a parking lot. He opened his whole store. He brought in some staff. They opened a bar that, you know, they got a legit bar inside.
Yep.
And they gave us their whole entire facility. Opened their doors on a Sunday that they were day off. I said, all right, we got some bread. We got a place to set up. And this is on a Saturday. And I wanted to do it Sunday. So I'm like, who the hell can I get a hold of to get meat?
Mm-hmm.
So I called Restaurant Depot. I said, how much meat do you have? You know, we got 1,000 pounds. Called my mom. Come bring the truck. Come grab my debit card. I want you to go buy all of the pork butt that they have in stock. That's not frozen. And that's what changed me. Right then and there. It wasn't me asking people for handouts. It was like, and that's actually when I kind of knew I was almost a success. You know, whether I get bigger or I go downhill from here, at that point in time, I was successful. I was able to take something and give to someone else and say, hey, go buy this.
Yeah.
It wasn't, hey, you know, what movie are we going to see? Where are we going to go eat dinner?
Yeah.
It's like, here, go buy this. And so, and I'm holding some things back. My father's got later stages of Alzheimer's. And he was very influential of me starting this business. He owns his own business, and I've always admired that. And so, one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life, you know, next to the birth of our children, which is pretty damn cool, you know, video. My 10-year-old, so we have all this sport, and it's Saturday. We're getting slammed.
Yeah.
I mean, slammed. And I'm like, okay, you know, we talk about stress. That's self-inflicted stress. And so my father and my 10-year-old son were in the back prepping this pork.
Wow.
You know, we took hotel pans and I just dumped a ton of rub in there. And I said, knife, you know, open it. Roll the pork in. I don't care how much it is. What sticks. That's all there is to it. We got to get this done. Now I'm like, boom, 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 we got to go. And I'm stressed to the max. And I looked back and saw my father and my son working hand to hand. Nothing else mattered.
That's insane. That's awesome.
They prepped all that pork in under an hour.
Wow.
You know, a gentleman, I say that strongly, a gentleman with Alzheimer's and my 10-year-old son. And so in between, sorry guys.
No, man.
Love it.
I get emotional about that.
That's okay.
And so in between orders, I'm running, you know, tubs of meat out to the smoker to get it on, and guess what? We're done. We just have 1,000 pounds of pork done. Shit, now we gotta cook it.
Yeah.
We gotta cook it. We gotta cook it. We're not even halfway there.
Yeah.
And so I literally, I mean, if you get camera on that, I get goosebumps about this because this is one of the best stories in my life. If I do nothing else in my life, this is what it's about. So we get out there, we get set up, and you know, the guys from Dillon Brothers showing up, and I swear to God, I was in heaven. It was a 4x4 fest. Jacked up, everything.
He's got your Wrangler's lifted, all tricked out, right? He's got your
Yes.
Oh yeah.
When we talk about his impulsive and excessive personality, I am that guy. And so the goal was to I went out there with pork, buns, pickles, and onions. Most important thing one needs to sustain life, water.
Yep.
I didn't have water. I didn't ask for water. The only thing I said, hey, we're gonna be here at this time. Truckloads upon truckloads of water showed up. Just a quick example, McCoy Roofing.
Yeah.
These guys showed up with trucks of food, random, chips, cookies, Gatorades, boom, boom, boom. And I was like, I'm gonna go back real quick. So I have my Jeep, we were talking about Jeep. I went to Sam's, I bought a Jeep load of candy. I'm diabetic, I can't eat candy. Well, I eat a lot of candy. But, and I get home and my wife's like, what the hell? I was like, it was like Halloween on steroids. And I said, think about it. these kids, just everything they know in life is gone.
Yep.
It will never be the same. Even for the parents, it will never be. You could have the exact house. Your life will never be the same because you just experienced something. Everything we experience in life changes our lives. It will never be the same.
Right.
We're not who we are yesterday. We're nowhere near what we'll be tomorrow. And so I said, if one piece of candy will put a smile on that kid's face, I don't have $1 million, but if I would have spent $1 million on that,
Yep.
it's all worth it. Because for that brief moment in time, you were able to distract that child.
Yep.
That parent, and if that child's distracted, that's not mom, dad, when can I get my toys? When can I go see my friends? When, hey, guess what? You just help the parents.
Yep.
Because those parents are stressing, how am I gonna support? We just lost everything. And so was that moment. We lived for that moment, and that moment alone, it was very precious. And so these guys in these jacked up 4x4s started going to the shelters. Nothing was asked. They started going to the shelters. They were bringing people to the shelters. They weren't making one trip. Hey, there's a group of people, they're taking showers. We bring one or two. Dude, that's beautiful. That's a wonderful thing.
Yep.
That is the essential. And I was asked why we did this. And I'm just gonna jump this in there real quick. And I told people, we're doing this because we're not, I repeat, not a community. We're not a community. We're family. What's the definition of community? It's a gathering place. What's the definition of a family? We argue, we fight, we don't like talking to each other, we love each other. We won't talk to each other for years. But when does a family come together?
Difficult times.
When someone's in need.
Yep.
Yes.
So that's why we're a family. It doesn't take a community to raise a child. It takes a family. It takes a strong network of people, whether biological or unbiological, that you care about.
Right.
And and that's what I saw. I didn't see a community. I saw family. No matter what your background is, your financial status, your religion, your color, nothing. We're family.
Yeah.
Everyone out to do one thing. And so these people are bringing them in, and we did a lot of sandwiches. We served over 2,000 meals. And I say that very lightheartedly because it's not what we set out. We set out to feed those that were in need, and it wasn't necessarily to feed. We had a lot of people come out and ask us, what can I do? Show up.
Yeah.
All right, when I get there, what do I need to do? Everyone, fast pace. I'm like, slow down. They might need someone to say hi. You bring me 1,000 people to say hi to 10 people, take it every day of the week.
Yep.
You bring me 10 people to tell someone what to do to 1,000, I'll leave it. Forget it. That's not what we're here for.
Yep.
And so these people were coming in, and that Saturday that we were planning all this, we opened our restaurant. It was another beautiful thing. It was clockwork. At that time, we were closing at 2 and then reopening at 5 for dinner. And at 2 o'clock, everyone was gone, and I had a line of people. It's like they organized this, you know?
Yeah.
Again, something higher and more powerful than us is setting us up. And we opened our restaurant to a lot of people, and we gave them absolutely everything they wanted.
Yep.
Because we're fortunate. You know, it's not that we have a lot of money, but we were fortunate at that point in time in our lives and that scenario and that situation that we were able to give. And so that was cool. It was one of the most, again, I say beautiful thing, but it was truly a blessing, a beautiful thing.
That's awesome.
So we go out there, and just to wrap this thing up real quick, you know, 'cause I am long-winded.
All good stuff. Love it.
So we did that, and we were again. I'm thinking, oh my God, I got a 30-foot trailer. I could stock it twice with water, from floor to ceiling, front to back. What are we gonna do with it? Well, the situation hasn't changed. And then all of a sudden, so then we get this call, Douglas County Emergency Services, and we'll keep it G-rated for the conversation, is I get a call and they're like, hey, we have 60 first responders, or we have some first responders. I said, how many? When? Hell yeah. It's something. And so these first responders hadn't eaten in a while, because why? Mission first, save lives.
Yep.
Them first, me last kind of mentality,
Yep.
in which all warriors have. Hey, It's others before myself.
Yep.
Beautiful thing. And so the fire chief from out in Elkhorn shows up, and we're just kick, shoving, pushing whatever we can get in. They were airboating food over to Valley and Waterloo. And we did that a couple times. And we shut that down at 6, and we were getting ready to shut down. And we had this family come up. It was a mother and a father and one of their children. And you know, God bless my mom, I love her, but she was like, do we need to ask for like ID to see where they live? Sorry, no. I said, look in their eyes.
Yep.
Listen to the tone of their voice. It'll tell you everything about someone's life, what they're going through in that moment. And so, I had given her a hard time about it, so that's the only reason to throw it out there, my mom. And so, this lady came up and just almost with a staggered voice was like, I heard you guys were giving out free pork sandwiches. Do you have, how many?
Yep.
You know, we're all jacked on adrenaline right now. And she goes, it's my husband, myself, and my kid, and 2 racks of buns, 5 cases of water. I took a whole pork butt, I shredded this whole pork butt, I put it in a pan. Let me rephrase, a friend of mine did all the shredding, I was trying to talk to people. Thank Nate. With Jonesboro Cupcakes. You're the man.
Come on, Nate.
Hey, I'm
Shout out
shouting you out.
Brother Cupcakes.
And so we get that out, and very respectfully and humbly, she's like, there's another family in the hotel. She wasn't done talking, I'm shredding. Yep. This one I did do. I was shredding this one up. I said I want 2 more racks of buns. I want 5 more cases of water in their car. Go onto the tables, because they had picnic tables out there. Jonas Brothers, or not Jonas, sorry, another Jonas Brothers playing. Otis Brothers. Dylan Brothers. And we had foil pans of candy. I said, go get pans of candy. Put it in a box, get it in the car. And I saw on Facebook, and I kid you not, I will goosebump. They put it that they took that pan of pork and they took just what they needed. It wasn't greed. It wasn't, haha, look what I have. They took just what they needed. They went and knocked on the next door.
At the hotel.
At this hotel.
Wow.
They handed it off to the next family. If they needed it, they took what they needed. And they left the food and they went back to them. That family went to the next door. If they didn't need it, that family took it to the next. They started this chain of beautifulness, community, you know, familyness. And literally goosebumps. That food went all the way through the hotel. If I would have known it was doing that, I would have given more. Because that was not enough. You know, but they weren't needy. They weren't asking for more than what they wanted.
Right.
So yeah, that was the epitome of what we did. And on the way back out, we heard that the levees broke in Bellevue. You know, so we were heading out there. We got a hold of Johnny Rico's Brooklyn Pizza. Eric Thomas owns that one.
Yeah.
And said, hey, let's get this going. You know, so they went. It got to the point where I just, you know, it's you.
Yep.
You know, we went our separate ways. You know, that's just personal reasons. But they did a lot of good, and it starts with one. Starts with one act. That one act turns into multiple acts, and so they were able to go down and help Bellevue and help out people in Fremont. How I do things is how I do it. I do me. How anyone else does it, I might not agree with it, but you did good.
Yep.
That's what it all comes down to.
That's awesome.
You know that. You know, like I said, I got a little into myself. You know, hey, no, this is how again, military background. This is it. This is how I started out. This is how it's got to be. There's no right or wrong way to do something. You know. So you know, it's taken me some time to kind of get over, you know, my feelings for some things. But hey, I do me.
Yeah.
So you know, And that is not why we set out to do it, but then again, without community, we do not succeed.
Yeah.
So, and that's what's important to us. I mean, and we do it all the time. You know, we make money, we keep what we need to keep a roof over our head, to, you know, to do some fun things. You know,
Yeah.
you can't do everything for nothing.
Sure.
Yep.
But we do as much as we can to give back to the community, whether it's a elementary school that thank you,
Yep.
feed your staff. You guys are doing a lot. First responders, police officers, military. You need a meal.
Yeah.
We all need something at some time because we never know what anyone's actually going through in their life. You need a meal. I'll give you a meal. It's not above or below me. I get it. I've been there.
Yeah.
You know. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't ever feel like you're less than who you want to be because you ask for help. Because guess what? I asked my parents for help to buy my trailer. They were gracious enough to say yes.
Yeah.
That's who and why I am what I am right now. You know, because I asked. I was scared shitless.
Yeah.
You know, to ask. You know,
Yep.
how do you go to your parents and say, "Hey, I need $80,000."
Yeah.
You know, and to go, okay.
Yep.
Well, I should
Yeah, I should ask for more.
Should ask more. But you know, this is literally why I do what I do.
Yep.
It is not to be on this podcast. It's not to be rated one of the best barbecue in the state of Nebraska or in Omaha or one of the top 50 in the country.
Top 5.
That's some news we just heard too, is that we've been reviewed as one of the top 50 in the
Oh,
country.
really?
Right
Whoa.
on. Congratulations.
Look at that.
Wayne.
He tried to slip that in.
Look at that.
Top in Omaha and one of the top 10 restaurants in the state of Nebraska.
See, you
I'm
guys.
telling
Now I'm telling you, it's only based on reviews.
Okay. Okay.
You know, a lot
Well,
of them.
that's good because everybody wants. That's what
Yeah.
people do nowadays.
That's
It's
right.
the same thing in our
That's
business.
the reason why we can't.
Exactly.
It's the
You
reason
know.
we can't, like.
And I encourage people to give reviews, whether good or bad,
Yeah.
because it's the only way we can grow.
No doubt.
Even go on Yelp, you look at ours, it's 100% 5-star across the board. And I'm not saying that for someone to come out and write a crap review, unless you've actually had a crap time. But I will tell you right now, I talk to absolutely 100% of every people that come into our restaurant because I care about their opinion.
Yes.
You know, that's why our reviews say what they are.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If it's not right, if you have a problem with something, talk to somebody.
Yep.
Don't just
Amen.
jump out on social media and going, hey, blah 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 blah. Well, did you try to talk to the manager or the owner? Yeah, if the owner and manager, you know,
Yeah.
they don't want any part of it. Maybe give them time. Maybe they're acting that way because they've got a line out the door. There's 48 tickets sitting waiting to go out and food.
Right.
They don't have time. It's not that they don't have time for you. They just don't have time at this moment
Yeah, in
because, you know, so, you know,
Yeah.
always talk to someone. You know, if you have an issue, talk to them, you know, about anything. Food, need
Life.
something,
Yeah.
life.
Life.
Life, you know, literally, these guys, I spent, what would you guys say, 45 minutes, almost an
Yeah.
hour?
Yeah.
It was an hour.
You know, and
Yeah.
they might remember this. I mean, they just saved me $250. Ooh, $250. $250 an hour, not to go see a counselor or a psychologist to work
Mhm.
issues out. Because this is my
Your therapy.
my therapy.
Yeah.
And that's why when we
Us
built,
too. Yeah.
that's why when we built the
That's
restaurant,
cool.
we actually built it out. You come in, and I'm the first fat guy you see.
Notice how
And-
we said the first.
The first fat guy. Dude, what's the comedian? We're not fat, we're fluffy. So it's, you know, we built it out to where the first thing you come in is you see, we're encased in glass. I slice and pull your meat to order right there.
Yep.
I get to interact with everyone every second I'm there, and that's how I get to know who my customer and my clientele are.
Yeah.
I get to know your life.
Yep.
You know, I get to know what's going on in your life at that moment. You're having a good day or a bad day. Hey, your wife's mad at you. Hey, your other wife's mad at you. And so, but talking, and that's what it's all about. This business has never been about making or trying to be the best. It has always been to be the best I can be.
Mm-hmm.
if I can be the best I can be, it's in the air. It's in
Wow.
God's hands.
That is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, I could talk all day on this, and I know we don't have all day because my phone will be ringing. My wife's like, "Where you at?" I'm still here. But you know that's why we do it. That literally, when I say there's no pinpoint, it is a big blot on the wall. That was a turning point. It was a culmination of a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful every day for it because it has afforded me to do me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, I hope everybody has heard that
That's huge.
as we've listened to this, and you know, as we always close, we go out with this big question, talking about the impact that you want to make in your community and the legacy that you want to live by, and I think you know pretty much explained that throughout
We
this.
haven't even touched that.
It's
I
not-
want to talk more.
It's
Yeah.
But tell us real quick, and then give us a plug for where people can follow you and they can find you and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But tell us about just the legacy that you want to leave and cement here in Omaha and in this community, and then where can we find you so we can go get some good barbecue?
Literally, not a fan of the word legacy. It's because it means I'm trying to be better than I can be so everyone remembers who I am.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to be remembered as anything, is that I have helped people learn. Not that I don't teach. Conversation, we learn through conversation. If we teach, doesn't mean we're helping. If we learn, we help people learn, then we know it's being passed forward. To help take care of your neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Not everything is going to go your way.
Yeah.
Make no excuses for what you do. And be you.
Yeah.
Be the best you can be. Don't try to live up to anyone else's expectations other than your own.
Love it.
Because if you do that, you cannot fail.
Yep.
No excuse. If we keep, I try not to make excuses for myself, because the only thing excuses will do for me is to make me fail and not be the best I can be. That's what I want people to know me as, people to remember me by, is that we can all help each other.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing matters.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be monetary. It doesn't have to be food. It doesn't have to be me giving.
Yep.
How you doing today?
Yep.
Courteous.
Or we just go, how you doing? I didn't want to say that the whole time.
Yeah.
But say hi.
Yeah.
A smile will go 1,000 miles.
Oh yeah, easily.
And that's all you have to do. And that's, if we could do that, I'm not trying to change the world, because the world's changed me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You look out there. I've traveled all over the world. Some of the most greatest places I've been are sorry for language, but a shithole on this planet that had nothing to do with my race, especially my religion.
Yeah.
They hate my religion. How are you doing?
Yep.
Shake my hand. Give me a hug. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
They passed that to me. I know it's changed the way I think about it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Amen.
Because do not let the few screw up the many.
Yeah.
Because the many are not wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's
everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Big time.
So yeah, my point in life, go out, be you, be the best you can be, say hi, smile to somebody. And if someone's having a bad day, how can I help?
Yep.
Not how can I fix, how can I help you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I ramble. I've got so much junk in my head. But that to my core, bank.
Plug core
Thanks.
bank.
No, but in my core, of my being is relax and
Yeah.
help. Everything will fall in place.
Yeah.
It will. You may be blessed with a lot. You may be blessed with a little, but you're blessed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
So, like I said, I could take this all day. We are Smoke and Barrel Barbecue. You can check us out. I'm horrible at social media. I'm not a fan of it because I keep forgetting. Our primary is on Facebook. Check us out at Smoke & Barrel on Facebook. I do a little bit of Instagram. I can't stand Twitter. Twitter. Our website is smokeandbarrel.net. That's smoke in, no G, no S. Our address is 13508 Discovery Drive. Getting weird here. 13508 Discovery Drive. We're just one lot, grass field, north of the Miller Airport. I'd like to say a block, but I don't know how big the grass field is. We're open Tuesday through Saturday. Sorry.
It's the brisket.
Don't watch me.
It's the brisket.
Something on fire? No, it's smoke. We're open Tuesday through Saturday at this point, 11 a.m. till we're sold out, which is usually between 2 and 2:30. Saturdays, sometimes we can speak it a little further. Well, we got some news going on.
Ooh, are you dropping it?
Are we dropping it on the podcast?
We're dropping it on the
Let's do it.
Yeah.
My wife of many years, I'm not going to say how many because I've probably forgotten. I'll get yelled at when I get home because it's the wrong year. No, we've been married. Hey, my daughter's birthday is next month. She's going to be 23. That means we've been married 23 years.
There we go.
Don't read into that. For 23 years, she's been a travel agent for 23, 24 of those years. She's quitting her job.
Oh,
awesome.
Wow.
And that means I'm now working for her full time. My wife has come to work for us full time.
Awesome.
And to keep her sanity, I'm allowing her to take care of all the bookwork, the caterings. We're expanding any business that would like. Now that when she comes on, that she's going to do that. So we're going to be able to start doing maybe some more corporate lunch catering deliveries.
Nice.
And so it's going to allow me more time to focus solely on producing more meat and smoking. Because one thing that I think will contribute to all of the reviews that we've had, what you gentlemen have talked about, pretty much everyone that's come in, is the consistency.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that we, people always say, you got a franchise, you can get bigger. No, I'm not, because that means I have to put it in someone else's hands. It's not that I'm a control freak, I am a control freak. And so it's going to allow me more time to be able to do more without having to worry about other things. So one might say somewhere around next month, which would be June.
Yeah.
June 14th, I was not allowed to have my phone. Somewhere around that time, we're going to start opening for dinner on Fridays.
Cool.
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah, me too.
So basically...
You heard it here first.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, first here on the podcast. Follow us on Facebook. That's how I get everything out. I mean, if I remember, I might drop something on our website. But on Facebook, it's going to come out, and it's going to be somewhere after the 14th. And we'll stretch, if we feel the love and we get the support that we're busy on Fridays, guess what? We're going to do it on Thursday.
Awesome.
And if that continues, we'll go Wednesday. Hey, guess what? Tuesday and Wednesday are no good. Guess what? We're not doing it.
Yeah.
Because again, family is important to me.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
I do not want to be married to this. I'm already married to a wonderful woman. We can't have that side mistress called a business.
Right.
And so, there's a lot of people getting in trouble for that. So Saturdays will be the last day that we add on to it because, again, family time with the kids, sports and all that other stuff, but it might be something that works out. We are closed every Sunday and Monday. Sunday is our family day. Monday is pray we can get every sweeping, and trying to get stocked for the week because we do get a little chaotically busy from time to time. But I don't know how to keep saying it, but I have the format and the ability right now to be welcomed on your guys' podcast and your live
to
be able to let people know that it's
awesome.
That's again same thing. How can we hit the masses?
Yeah.
You know, this is a way I can get a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that's how we were able to get out for helping people. So I want to truly from my heart thank you for allowing me to come on here.
Thanks
Bet.
for coming.
I ramble
Our
a
pleasure.
lot because I
Loved
got
it.
so much in this massively domage head.
Domage.
Domage, it's a
Yeah.
new word for the day.
Love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do truly. I want to thank you guys for having
Of
me.
course,
on.
man. We appreciate it. We
Yeah.
appreciate you sharing your story
Yeah.
too. I know it got deep there for a minute, but we appreciate that. I mean, that's why we do what we do, because we love connecting with people and we love going deep and getting that gritty past and
Yeah,
hearing the
almost
story.
something wrong.
Huh?
Not that I can't say.
Yeah, I know. I knew where you were at with that.
No, but seriously, I mean, you guys, truly thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys were a pleasure to have out, as is everyone that comes into our doors.
Mhm.
Because what you experienced
Mhm.
is how I treat everybody.
Yeah.
So you are.
That's how I
Yeah.
want everyone to feel. You know, if I could literally have someone slice of meat and I could sit down and spend a half hour with
Yeah.
each person that comes in,
Yep.
I'm the richest man in the world.
Mhm.
Yep.
Physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Yep.
Because, you know, I have no stress.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, oh yeah, Jim over there. If Jim, I don't know who you are, but if there's a Jim over there, I'd be like, dude, my life's not so bad. You're Jim. So, but, you know, I mean, it's just, Jenny Jim, sorry.
Yeah.
But you know, it's, you know,
Yep.
thank you.
Of
Well,
course,
like I said, I can keep doing this for hours.
No.
Because it relaxes me. But I know, you know, there's people watching like,
It's true.
No.
dude, they're serious. They see how
Dude, we
No.
got after it today.
No, we
But
did.
We love this, and I mean, obviously, we're gonna be back at Wings Place because we love that place. We were
For sure.
we were digging some barbecue today, and we were just like, oh, I can't get over there in
Mm-hmm.
time. But if you do get a chance, you guys, Smoke and Barrel Barbecue.
Mhm.
Thank you, Wayne, for coming on today. Thank you for following the podcast. We love you guys. Happy Friday.
Thanks so much, guys.
And we'll see you next week with our new guest. You're going to have to wait and see who that is.
Wait and see.
But it'll be a good one. We're going to be talking about franchising with a certain restaurant. So it'll be good stuff. So thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Happy Friday.